We're both loud with big energy. Anyways. Well, hello, I'm Erica. I am odd. You shouldn't, because I framed it correctly. If you see my stomach glowing at all, I'm wearing a portable heating pad. So that's that. So this is a video I wanted to make for a minute. I want to do top 5, maybe I'll do top 10 one day, but we're gonna stick with 5 for now. These are my top 5 favorite fictional men. Out of all of the series I've read, out of all of the books, audiobooks, Kindle books, whatever you may have, these are my favorite fictional men. So we're gonna go ahead and start with number 5. I am completely kidding. I took these off of my bookshelf for this joke, so please appreciate it. Never in a million years, and everybody who was like, Joe's misunderstood, you would end up in the cage. I learned my lessons with my Joes in life. Okay, so let's start with the real number 5, which is actually from a book that I have not finished reading yet. I still have about 2 hours left, but I'm pretty confident saying this. It is called First Time Caller, and the fictional man is Aidan Valentine. I keep calling him Ian when I talk about the book in conversation. I don't know why. I think it's because I love My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's a great movie. Anyways, this book is so cute, and I have about 2 hours of it left on my audiobook, but I can say right now without a doubt it's a 5-star read for me. I'm going to want the physical copy. It's so well written. It's very like a modern Sleepless in Seattle, but also I like how all of the characters are just so surrounded by love and just supporting each other through and through, and I think that it's really beautiful. I relate to Aidan. I mean, here's the thing. I relate to both characters, right? Aidan and Lucy. I relate to Aidan in the sense of like, I, for a very long time in my life, have been very jaded about love and relationships because I was very traumatized by my last relationship. It was horrible. I still talk about it in therapy. Like the things I survived in it, I would not wish on my worst enemy. I still can't safely talk about what happened, but if you know, you know. You're picking up what I'm putting down if you know. And if you do know, I'm sorry. Because that means you were probably in a similar position. But I was so traumatized by that, and I was so jaded about love for so long and like relationships. And I had my mind opened over the past couple years. It takes like one person to just switch up that mentality and be like, maybe I am too being jaded about this. Maybe it is okay to be vulnerable with somebody and to trust somebody again. And I think that Aidan really is finding that in this book. But then I also relate to Lucy, who's like a mechanic who has just sort of had like the worst luck in love. I'm a boat repair woman along with a coffee trailer owner, but nevertheless still a repair woman as well. And I relate to her in her like day-to-day interactions and like if people are taking her seriously or not. So I just relate to Lucy in those aspects. But Aidan is just very understanding, and you can see his mind just shifting and changing and becoming more positive, and the more vulnerable he becomes in this book, I think the more that you just like fall in love with him. I think that it's just such a little meet cute, and it's the perfect little story. Aidan made the list quite literally 2 days ago, so I'm kind of glad I didn't film this 2 days ago. All right, next up, number 4 is from the Score series. The Score series is a series that I started last year and I'm going to finish this year because there's only 2 books left. I've talked about the Score series here and there through like reading wrap-ups, but the Score series, I'm saying it right now, once I finish it within the next few weeks here, it's going to get its own separate video where I break down all of the books, my thoughts on all of the books. And the reason I say that is because there are 2 men from the Score series on this list. Anyways, in case you guys are wondering why I don't go too in depth about the Score series in this video, that is why. It's getting its own separate video. So number 4 is Reeves. From the Score series, specifically the book Tough Score. I just reviewed this book and I talked about it I think in my last video where it was completely rushed and there were typos, and I felt like the end of the story was so, she was clearly trying to meet a deadline. However, Reeves is in the other books. He is talked to, we see him interact with his teammates, and in this book, even though it was rushed and it could have been better written, I think we really still got a feel of who Reeves is, and I just loved his character. He's just very driven and he knows exactly what he wants, but he's this person who has also had this tougher background, and so he really appreciates where he's at. And when he meets somebody that has the same sort of goals as him and is sort of this complementary person to him, he really changes up just how he views things and life life and his career and all of it. I just think that Reeves is like a very like generous person. He's also sort of like a nerd like me. Like, I love nature channels. Fun fact about me, I know I could tell you so much about otters, and he watches a lot of documentaries like that, so I think it's nice. He also makes it a priority to really show up for people in his life. Like, he was late to Keely's soccer game in it, and he beat himself up about it, even though like he was at the doctor, but he still showed up at the very end to congratulate her on the win, walks people to their car, he makes sure that they're eating enough. He's just such a thoughtful person. That's why Reeves made my list, is I just really enjoyed reading about him, and I liked how thoughtful he was to others. Do what you will with that information. Now, number three? We're on 3. Yeah, we're on 3. I got confused because the book says number 5. But the next book is, again, from the Score series. Next up, we have Slade. This is from the Dirty Score book. Yes, all of the books have the word score in them, so hence the Score series. Yes, it's all a hockey romance series. Again, I can't get into it now. I have to force myself not to talk about this series. This book is about Slade and Penelope, and it's in Enemies to Lovers. We know I love a good Enemies to Lovers. Are you joking? Slade, this sort of just bad boy, this sort of like brooding hockey bad boy who has a thing for Penelope. And Penelope hates him. But don't worry, they fall in love, because that's how romance books work. And I won't really spoil it, but Penelope and Slade sort of have like this past where it's just he was rude to her in the past, sort of, and just like in college wasn't the nicest to her, and they've always sort of had this enemies thing going on. But now Penelope, whose father owns the Hawkeyes, is forced to work with Slade as she works for the Hawkeyes. And this beautiful, tatted up, brooding bad boy man enters Penelope's life and just changes the game. I love a good, like, maybe this is me being a Cancer, right? I love when there's just a tough exterior and all it takes is just like a little snap and you get to the soft crab meat and they are just a teddy bear. The exterior is the only thing that's like tough about them, and on the inside they're just a gooey, mushy love bug. I just love it. I think it's nice. It's like they are that way only for that one girl, where it's like, yeah, the rest of the world can off, but when I'm with her it's different. He's softer with her, he's kinder when he's around her, he's happier when he's around her. For a man to just be in love with this woman and pine after her for years without it actually like being known to her, and just being so deeply in love that he's never committed to another woman, he's never like seriously entertained a relationship with any of the Puck Bunnies, and he gets ice skates tattooed on his arm for her when they have never been together. She hates his guts, but he's so in love with her. He's like, I need to get her ice skates tattooed on me. And he got her little initials on the blade. Are you fucking kidding me? I love Slade. Again, he's just this big old softie that is so just deeply in love with this woman. It's a timeless love. Here's the only thing I will say, is that if you listen to the audiobook, all of the other audiobooks for this series, they're normal. The voice actor for Slade is so cringy. So maybe if you're gonna read this one, read it on the Kindle. I'm not telling you to not listen to the audiobook, but I am telling you that it's gonna be painful. I can't play it for you, but I can impersonate it perfectly, and when I tell you I'm not over-exaggerating this, you need to trust me. Or listen to the audio preview. Do whatever you want. Slade, the voice actor, literally talks. Chapter 2, Slade. As I sat there in Coach's office, I couldn't help but wonder. Like, it's like this weird, who is it? Who's the ghost person? It's Chills or something like that. That channel where it's like number 4, the scariest Wendy's, and he tells like scary stories like that. I'm not kidding. Maybe they hired him. It's like this surfer bad boy trying to sound so mysterious, because Slade's like toughest out of all the Hawkeye boys and like the most bad boy misunderstood type. And so I don't know if that's what they were trying to give off, but they didn't. It did make me laugh really hard when I heard it, but I do love Slade, so he's number 3. Let me just grab the books for number 2, shall I? Number 2, do we want to take a guess? I just wanted to show you guys my pretty special editions, but do we want to take a guess? If you guessed Russ, you're right. Honorable mention, first and foremost, is JJ in this entire series. JJ is not getting his own book, which is pretty fucking rude, if you ask me. Everybody wanted a JJ book, so I don't know why Hannah Grace isn't writing it, but I guess she has her reasons, and we just have to live with those. But in Icebreaker, we have Nate. In Wildfire, we have Russ. In Daydream, we have Henry. These 2 gentlemen are lovely, but they're not my type. So, Russ really stole my heart in this book, and I will say this is my favorite book out of the series so far. Icebreaker was like what got me into romance, so it always has a special place in my heart. However, Wildfire was so... It's so good. And Russ is so cute. And I like a guy who's sort of like shy and timid around women, even though like he's gorgeous. Again, Russ was sort of just like a recluse and like more calm as to Aurora's like very loud energy. That's why I like Aurora. We're both loud with big energy. Anyways, Russ is really cute. He's a really nice counterbalance for Aurora. Again, a very understanding man, a man that really cares about the people around him and knows what it's like to sort of deal with the tougher situations in life. So he relates to a lot of Aurora's problems in this book, and he's a listener. That's like the best way I can describe Russ, is he is definitely a listener. Love a man who listens, because I love to yap, you know what I mean? It's a very sweet summer romance, and you know me, I'm a fall girl, so like loving a summer romance is a big deal for me. I always like them, but to love one, it hit. But again, just sort of a very shy but caring man, wants to just truly get to know Aurora for who she is as a person, even though, spoiler alert, which like if you've read 2 chapters of the book, this isn't a spoiler, even though they hooked up before and they didn't really know each other that well, he still wants to get to know her afterwards because he likes her for more than just that. A very sensitive man, very considerate man. I think that he very much has a soft spot for all of the people in his life, and like once Russ cares about you, that's it. It's over. You're in. They will love you forever until you do something so heinous that they hate you. I'm the same way. Russ might be a Cancer. Maybe that's why I relate to him so much. I just love how he loves everyone in his life and how he values people and friendships, and I think he has a really sweet message. I'm gonna put that back. I'm obsessing. My number 1 favorite fictional man, book boyfriend if you will, this should come as no surprise, is Xaden Ryerson. Listen, I know I can't shut the up about Xaden, but you're gonna have to listen a little bit more. So, all the reasons I love Xaden Ryerson. Let me count the ways. This got me really into romantasy. I was mostly like a fantasy reader. I read this book, and if I'm being quite honest, this is what got me so heavily into reading, this and Icebreaker. This got me so heavily into reading and made me feel like I could really just do it. Because I've talked about my struggles growing up as a dyslexic child and my complicated relationship I've had with reading my whole life. And now it's my number 1 hobby, and I love it. I've literally dedicated my YouTube to it. I went from being a vlogger to a booktuber and vlogger. This book just always holds such a special place in my heart. And Xaden Ryerson, he's just ridiculous. I mean, they don't make him like this. As we know, love a good, enemies to lovers. Xaden is, again, complicated tattooed bad boy with black hair who's brooding. In other words, he's emo, my type. Xaden, again, it's that tough exterior, but really is just kind and soft-hearted, and once he loves you, he will love you forever. So let's talk about the fact first that he's just gorgeous, right? Totally meets my criteria. Tattoos, dark hair, a little bit angry all the time for no reason. Emo, my type. But also, I like that he is just sort of witty and playful as well. Again, fantastic banter in this book between him and Violet. I like that he can sort of not only physically spar and keep up as like her abilities grow, but he can also verbally spar with her, and it's like a game of mental wits that I really appreciate, that they're on the same intellectual level, because he's also very smart, just as Violet. But what I also love is that he's not intimidated by how talented Violet is, and the fact that he supports her, not only supports her actually, but works with her to grow her powers, because he wants her to be more powerful than him. He wants her to reach her full potential and be the one by her side, helping her do it in any way that he can help. And when she just needs him there to just be support and just emotionally support her in those times, he does that too. And again, this vulnerability that he has only with Violet is something I really appreciate, and also the small gestures that he does without like having to be asked, that are just inherently romantic, but they're small things that if you are not in love with a person, you wouldn't think to do them. When he has to leave in the morning to go do like wing leader stuff, he doesn't want Violet to feel like he just spent the night with her and then bailed. So he went out and he picked a bunch of violets so that she would wake up next to them and not feel alone. And when I read that, that sealed it. I was like, number 1, that is so romantic. Are you joking? Oh God. It's just so sweet. Don't do it. Don't do it. This mascara is waterproof. Don't do it. Oh my God. It's just so sweet and I love it. Yes, that's why he's the number 1 fictional man. Are you joking? I'm literally tearing up. Oh my God, I can't He's just wonderful. I could go on about Zayden for hours, but I feel that I have talked about him so much on this channel that if you wanted further explanation, feel free to watch my other videos where I talk about Onyx Storm and like Fourth Wing and all my other reviews on him. But those are my top 5 fictional men. Let me know who's on your list. What are some books that you've read that you think the fictional men in there could top the ones on my list? Let me know what books you guys are reading right now, what I need to check out, any new releases, because I am loving First Time Caller. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.